Hello, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Clint Zoka. As promised, I would talk about Beauty and the Beast. But there's one film I want to get off my chest, and that is the recent Disney live-action film, which is A Wrinkle in Time. And if I don't sound all that enthusiastic, then I apologise. It's because certain incidents has happened. I won't go into detail because I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm not cheery, let's say, but yeah. So, Christopher Robin's out this week and I'm going to see it tomorrow. Not Teen Titans Go. I think I'll probably just see that online or whenever. So I'm just going to... I want to talk about Beauty and the Beast, but I just want to quickly chat about A Wrinkle in Time because, oh boy. Okay, so it's based off a novel. Okay, it's directed by the same person who did Selma, which I heard is pretty great. It's about a girl who finds his father in a realm that he created, space continuum, and then he comes across these three spirits. Miss Who, played by Oprah Winfrey, Miss Whatsit, played by Reese Witherspoon, and Miss Who, played by Mindy something. She voices Disgust from Inside Out, but Levi Miller plays crap, I forgot his name. Calvin. Calvin comes along with Meg and his brother Sean Wallace, and there's something evil out there, and they got to stop it, while at the same time save his dad, played by Chris Pine. Or I would call this a Inception parody or something, because I'm not joking when I say this is one of the most complicated films I ever had to watch. I love sci-fi. Even if I don't get it, I will try and understand it. This film, maybe about 2% of it. The rest, I couldn't figure out what the hell I was watching. It felt ugly. It felt convoluted. It is kind of predictable, but since it's a science fiction film for children, it doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel genuine. It just feels generic, and I really don't like this film. I really don't. It's about, the main character goes to school, gets bullied. Oh, gee, I wonder if that bully's going to, I don't know, be friends with her. Jesus Christ. And then there's like this evil thing called the It that's trying to make children scared or something. I don't know. It's weird. The execution is just strange, and I know that it gets into detail of what Chris Pine or Alex Murphy wants to do, but I never followed it. I found it mostly just kind of confusing, and I never kept track. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not enough to say that I'm invested or this is interesting. It's just kind of bland and just confusing. I'm sure someone will get that, and it may be slightly basic and simplistic, but in reality, it's just kind of baffling. Do I have anything good about it? Well, it does its job fine. It's not a very long movie, actually. It goes by quickly. That's about it. Everything else is not good. I wish I didn't say that because it's flipping Disney, but this film was not that interesting at all. Sorry, Disney. Visuals. Well, if I have to give the film the biggest praise, and that's probably the visuals. It's a very bright, very well shot, very colourful, very unique looking Disney film. I mean, it's not it's not the best looking, but I can definitely tell that it's trying to stand out, and I can definitely see that. It's very bright, it's very colourful. The CGI is not awful, but it's meh. Backgrounds look nice, and the places they go to is quite good. It looks very nice. But the costumes on Mindy, I can't remember her name, Reese Witherspoon, and Oprah Winfrey. Visually, they do look quite good, but Jesus. It makes the film look ugly. And no offense to these actresses, I really like these people, but the film at times can sometimes look really damn ugly and really unpleasant to look at, and it makes it look not generic, but just basic. It doesn't do much favours besides pretty visuals just to distract the audiences. Sorry if I have to be a beggar or a nagger, but I feel like that's what the visuals is trying to do. I mean, yeah, it looks nice, but it still doesn't. It's still not enough to say the film's good. Hell no, it's not good. It's just. I'll get to that in a minute, but with that said, it's still a nice looking film. It's visually colourful, and the CGI again is fine. It's not great. It's weird, but it's fine. And it looks beautiful. Well shot in the real world too, so I can't complain about that. But man, those costumes on them look... I feel sorry for them. They look weird. I'm very sorry, ladies. I'm very sorry indeed. Not the best looking, but it looks nice, I guess. Characters and acting. I think the only few characters I liked was Meg Murray, played by Storm Reid, who's a really likeable and kind of relatable character. She doesn't offer much except being the protagonist, and that's about it. I mean, I do want her to find Alex Murphy, but she doesn't offer much from what I remember. I just remember her just being there just to talk and brag and complain. And nothing against the actress, I will get to that in a bit. But let's just say she's generic. His brother Sean Wallace is something else, and I don't mean that in a good way. His brother is just... And this is the same with the acting. He's really irritating. I'll get to that as well. Calvin is okay. He doesn't do much either, but he's fine. The free spirits are just that. They're just there to convince and help our heroes go through their journey. They're whimsical and weird, and they bring the comedy. And also, did I mention this film is not funny at all? Like, maybe chuckles, but not really laugh out loud funny. Come on, if you really want to see a funny Disney film, Incredibles 2. This one is just baffling. Right, the only one I actually thought was the most interesting is actually Alex Murphy. He's the only one who I actually found slightly interesting. But yet again, he's not in the film that long. But when he's in the film, he's actually got more depth and personality, and he's likable and all that. I'll give it that the character that Zach Galifianakis plays is good as well. Michael Pena's Red is okay until what happened to him. Then there's the villain who short but interesting, but they don't do much with the villain. I thought, wow, what a waste. The acting is fine for the most part, although I'll admit Storm Reid is actually really good as Meg. Chris Pine is always he's always a delight. Oprah Winfrey's fine. Reese Witherspoon, I think, is probably the better one. Mindy, I don't remember your second name, is okay. Levi Miller's fine. Although I think his role in Pan was better than this. Who else? Zach Galifianakis, good. Michael Pena, passable, I guess. But I'm sorry, whoever you are, I'm sorry I have to say this, but Sean Wallace's actor, oh my god, he's annoying. And more spoiler alert. I don't know why I should say spoiler alert since no one actually likes the film. I know there probably are a few people that like it, but really, what do you expect? Near the end, spoilers, he turns evil from the it creature, and when he does, it's just absolutely cringy, annoying. He's loud, he's obnoxious, he just never goes away, and he's just spouting out random words out of his mouth, and nothing against the kid. I'm sure he had fun doing it, and that's fine and all, but it doesn't excuse that his performance is awful. Oh god, with dull characters that are just generic and one-dimensional, and just some passable acting with one awful performance, you're in trouble. I really wanted to like this one. I really did. But it just turned out to be just okay. A Wrinkle in Time is not quite like the worst Disney live-action film. Sure, it looks nice, and there's like a couple of characters I found interesting. And, well, the song by Sia is not bad either. It's not one of her best. It's called Magic. It's not one of her best songs, but it's decent. But with a premise that's interesting, turned into something that's just basic and at the same time complicated, the movie can sometimes look really ugly and just dull characters with really underwhelming performances and one bad acting from Sean Wallace. If you want to see a really, really damn good Disney live action film that did all those elements better, go see Pete's Dragon or the film I'm going to talk about next. I don't recommend this film at all. I think it's just forgettable. If you're interested, I say rent it. I think it's out on DVD now. I didn't see this film in the cinema, by the way. I wanted to, but I had second thoughts. I'm glad I did, because I thought this film was kind of boring. Sadly, I'm going to give it a 5.1 out of 10. Sorry. But don't worry. You guys get good. We're going to talk about the 2017 Beauty and the Beast. So, before I go into this one, I should probably talk about the original classic from 1991. If you want to know more about it, if you want to know what I think about it, well, I'll tell you a little bit when we talk about the film. Okay, so in this castle, there's the prince, played by Dan Stevens, who is turned into a beast after a witch's curse. And in a little glass, there's a flower that has pellets. Pellets. I don't know. But once they all fall down, him, Louviere, played by Ewan McGregor, Cogsworth, played by Ian McKellen. It's kind of a mouthful, Jesus. Miss Potts, played by Emma Thompson, Chip, the wardrobe, the piano. I think that's about it. They were all once human, but now they all turn into objects from the witch's curse. And if all the pellets from this red rose falls off, they get turned and stay as objects forever. Until Belle, played by Emma Watson, comes to change his heart. But at the same time, there's this supposed to be strong and, fearless warrior soldier named Gaston, played by Luke Evans, with the help of LeFou, played by Josh Gad, and they want to kill the beast. And Kevin Costner as the father of Belle is here too. So there's that. Okay, so here's the question that you're probably going to ask me. Is this better than the original film? Hell no. The original film's 10 times better, but is this movie great? Yeah, I actually thought it was wonderful. Now. Hear me out. I don't think it's one of my top 5 favourites, but I don't know why, I just kind of enjoy it. But I'll get to my big issue, and I think everyone can agree on this. The execution is pretty much the original film, beat for beat. Like, it's exactly the same, but it looks different, and it's, the lines are delivered by different actors. Although sometimes it can be a little different, I suppose. They do make a couple of changes, but that's not much. At least Pete's Dragon and the Jungle Book actually did it better, but at the same time, I still think this film is enjoyable enough to say that I loved it. I'm not joking, I loved it. I mean, some of the musical numbers may be underwhelming, but I enjoyed those too. And the chemistry between the Beast and Belle is also quite nice to watch as well. Surprisingly good comedy. It doesn't overdo it at times. Maybe a little bit, but not badly actually. Although the real comedy comes from Gaston and Le Fou. And it also has a bit of emotion here and there. It has heart as well, which is good. It has one scene I do remember did kind of pee off fans, which is something to do with the time travel, I think. And something about Belle's mum. You know what I mean if you've seen it. That's probably the only thing I thought was just weird and kind of out of place. But despite being just, you know, the original film, it still tries. It does it well. It keeps me interested. It didn't bother me at all. I thought the film was really entertaining in its execution and its plot. Visuals. Wow. And I thought the original film was beautiful. Okay, it is more beautiful than this, but this one looked interesting. Not only is the film, with its CGI and its backgrounds, it actually looks really good. It doesn't look cheap at all. Okay, kind of, but it looks nice. It looks very beautiful, and it looks very well detailed, and it looks amazing as well. So that's one thing I can't complain. Also, the costumes on the characters look wonderful, especially with Cogsworth, Lumiere, Mrs. Pot, Chip, Gaston, Le Fou, especially the Beast and Belle. That's also really wonderful as well. And when it comes to the fight scenes and the song numbers, I thought that was visually wonderful as well. I just couldn't keep my eye. I just couldn't look away from the screen because it just looks so wonderful. It looks so bright, so colourful, so full of nice colours, and it looks amazing. What else? So the CGI on the Beast looks okay. It looks close to the one from the original, but maybe not faithful. Look, if there's one thing that the original film did better, is that the Beast actually has a unique design, and the way he moves when he's in the shadow or when he's going to Belle or anyone looked. It may look like how an animal would move like that. That's anthropomorphic, but the way he moves feels very genuine and actually kind of human-y, if you will, because he was a prince. This one just moves like a CGI character, and don't get me wrong, I think it looks good, but not as amazing as the animated one. Visually, I think this is probably the best looking one. I can't say one of there because I mean Jungle Book looked good. Pete's Dragon looked beautiful. As bad as the Alice in Wonderland films are, they looked pretty good as well. But this one, I'll just say for now, it's the most beautiful looking one. Even with some mostly good CGI, it still stands out. Characters and acting. So, I'll start off with the characters I liked. Gaston, played by Luke Evans. As the villain in this version, I think he's good. And I do like. I don't remember. Because in this version, I think he's a soldier, and I think in the original he was a huntsman or something, or a lumberjack. I don't remember. But again, the one from the original is better than this one. But this one was interesting as well. I actually liked this one. Thanks to Luke Evans' performance, which I'll get to in a bit. He's definitely a threatening, unpleasant, and just kind of a mean-spirited villain. But he was really entertaining. I actually enjoyed whenever he's on screen. LeFou, played by Josh Gad, is also pretty good, and I think he's actually the only one that's accurate to the one from the original. The one from the original wasn't annoying. He's actually got more of a point as Gaston's sidekick, but this one is exactly the same. But I get it. I get why they're trying to make him the same, and they do it pretty well, and he doesn't feel out of place. Also, I remember there was like this controversy about LeFou being gay. Well, not gay for Gaston from the original or here. I can see what they're talking about. It's like near the end of the film, and they're complaining about nothing. It's literally just 2 seconds, and they think that's just critics, man. Who else? Cogsworth, played by and voiced by not Ian McGregor, Ian McKellen, is also wonderful. I found him very, very funny and charming in the original. Same here. Ewan McGregor as oh crap, I forgot his name. I think I said his name a couple of times. It might have been the wrong name. The lamp. Oh god, I can't remember his name. Oh god. This one here is a little different from the one in the first one, who's more, positive, and he's always happy. He's trying to look on the bright side and all. I think it's Le Pumiere or something like that. I'm thinking of someone else, but anyways, Mrs. Pot, played and also voiced by Emma Thompson, is that. She's basically just Miss Pot. Is it Miss Pot? I don't remember. She's basically that from the original. Same with Chip. They're both the same, except this one has a British accent. Makes sense, I guess. Lumiere, there we go. Lumiere. That's it. That's the lamp. There we go. Who else? There's a wardrobe that was pretty creepy. There's a piano as well. They didn't do much. I actually don't remember them that much from the original. Oh yeah, there's like the servant who's the broom as well, who's in love with Lumiere. I think that's about it, really. Then you got the father, who's played by Kevin Costner, who's actually called Maurice. And I'll give it that he had a better role in this film than before. And then we have the two. We have the Beast, played by Dan Stevens, and Belle, played by Emma Watson. I don't think they're better than the original, but I think they're close. It's a little complicated, but not too complicated. It's not Wrinkle in Time levels of complicated, but I think they're both likable, relatable, lovely, pretty sweet, and genuinely kind of funny. Okay, they're not the best. They're not the best characters here. I think the best ones are Gaston, LeFou, Cogsworth, Lumiere, and I'll put Mrs. Pot and Chip there because I actually found them good as well. Those two are the least favourites, but I like them good. The acting. Okay. Please don't hate me for this, but Emma Watson is not that good of a choice to play Belle. I know she's in Harry Potter. I think she's good in Harry Potter, but that doesn't mean she's good in other things. The circle. She's fine. I always liked her. I think she's funny. She's well acted. I think she's beautiful as well. She does have the look of Belle, but she doesn't have the voice or the attitude. It's not American. It's just Emma Watson playing Belle. And Dan Stevens isn't okay. Even though his role in Night at the Museum as Sir Lancelot's better, he does try, and I'll give him credit that he does good. But Ian McKellen, Ewan McGregor, Luke Evans, Josh Gad, Emma Thompson, Kevin Costner, they are fantastic, and I think they put in the most effort in their performances, and it really shows that they do better than our two leads, and that's saying something. And on a side note, the songs, they use the songs from the original, they update it a little bit. The Beauty and the Beast one from the original, when they're dancing in the ballroom, is wonderful visually and with the song. In this one, it looks colourful, and the song sung by Emma Thompson is quite beautiful. Not as amazing as the other one, but I'll take it. Yep, I think this is the best one so far until what's coming out? Dumbo, and I think The Lion King and Mulan as well. I'm not looking forward to Dumbo, but I can tell you for a fact this remake I think is the best. Say what you want about it, but I love it. It may not be as amazing as the original, because the original one is a masterpiece, and I think it's one of the most well animated films I've seen out there. And it's something I would call Disney magic. This one, close, but still very good. It has the plot. It has a very well executed plot. It visually looks beautiful, and it has some decent and at the same time mostly impressive CGI. It's got some very likable and very entertaining characters and some good performances with great music. Although it can copy the first one literally beat for beat, and it can be a little different where it doesn't fit. The CGI is decent at times. The two main leads are fine. Emma Watson is not that good of a choice of Belle. And that's about it. All the complaints I have are just kind of nitpicks, and I don't really mind. So I'll give this a 10 out of 10, and I know I've been complaining a little bit, but that's just something I noticed, and it doesn't affect me at all. It's just I just noticed it, So that's that out of the way. So tomorrow, the 20, what day is it today? It's the 17th, isn't it? Tomorrow I'll probably do Christopher Robin, if not Sunday. So look forward to that, and after that, I don't know. Actually, no. I've got a special one. I've got a special review to do. A special my thoughts on. And this is coming from a film I love when I was about 7 or 8. And it's from Pixar. No, it's not Coco. Yeah, that's recent. No, it's not Incredibles. I've already done Incredibles. It's something special. For a very special day, for a very special guy. Anyways, let me know what you think of these two. One mediocre and one wonderful film. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Until next time, bye for now.